And just like I said, we'd fuck off for a week. We're fucking back in. With this installment, we're going to be talking about, the X-Files, how, the politics of keeping shows on TV, fan scripts I've written, how much this one DJ has really earned my ire, grinds my gears, in fact. It's all over the place this week. Just listen. You'll find out for yourself. We're good background noise this week. I swear to God. Please. Anyway, so we're back.
To be fair, I don't think X-Files ever ends.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't because they're coming back for a new miniseries.
And January. The movies.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Carter's been talking about doing a movie series ever since he did the first movie.
First movie was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I enjoyed both of them.
Speaking of X-Files, if I may.
Please.
I am in the midst of an X-Files rewatch.
Oh, joy.
I'm a little bit over halfway through the second season, and it's wonderful. I've decided to, this time, chug through and watch every single episode. Yep. Because, that was one of those big TV shows, and I figure, I want to assume that, it was the same for all, we all watched it at some point, except maybe Jake.
I watched the finale. That was...
Yeah. Such...
I haven't seen every single episode of The X-Files, but I enjoyed what I saw.
Yeah, I remember it was a thing that my father and I shared. Every Friday night, sit down, turn on Fox, X-Files, and it was a big part of my life for I want to say for me it was for 5 years ish. Show went on for 8 or 9 seasons, but I watched the show with my dad almost every single week. Until about the movie came out. And then, arguably, the show started to kind of go downhill after that. I think we watched for maybe another season. And then we kind of just saw it whenever we got around to it. VHS immediately. And especially with X-Files, it was the VHSs you would get. It would be here's 2 mythology episodes. Sometimes it would be a Monster of the Week and a mythology episode. Sometimes it would just be 2 Monster of the Week episodes, and that's what you got on a VHS. And they might release 2 or 3 per season, and
fun.
Yeah. It wasn't until I want to say 2005 that they released the series on DVD, and they made it I don't know, it was something like 5 discs a season, and it had every single episode for each season. And now it's on Netflix, or I guess it's been on Netflix for a while. But now Netflix, I don't know if Netflix is doing it or if just the company that owns the distribution rights to it is doing it, and Netflix just happens to be the lucky guinea pig. But they're converting the episodes to HD.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I had
now I'm excited.
Yeah, I had no idea they were doing this. I turn on the first episode.
Was there another show, or is this the first one that's getting this treatment?
No, well, I can get to that in a minute. I actually know a good thing about that too. If you remind me when I'm kind of done with X-Files, I can talk about HD conversions of old shows. But so I turn on the first episode, and it's in widescreen. It's covering every inch of my TV, and I'm like, the fuck? And then I click this little button on my remote that tells me what the picture what picture quality I'm watching it as, and with Netflix it kind of buffers up, but so it starts at 480, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense, and then it clicks to 720, and I'm like, what? And then it jumps up to 1080, and I'm like, I'm watching X-Files, a show that started in 1993.
And then it clicks up to 3D, and it just pops out of your screen.
My TV's not even a 3D TV. How is it doing it? It's a conspiracy. But yeah, I'm floored. And more or less, the whole show just looks cleaner. It doesn't look like a shitty 90s television show. I mean, because... let's be honest. Yeah,
because boy, did it ever.
I mean, it was revolutionary for its time, and
the storytelling. Yeah,
I'm rewatching Hercules: The Legendary Journeys right now.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Is 90s shitty 90s?
Yeah, but yeah,
good shitty 90s.
The beautiful thing. It's no Xena.
Truth.
Sorbo status. Where was I? The cinematography and the direction of every episode, like they treated it almost like it was a low budget movie. And not low budget shitty, but like just low budget, like we don't have a huge Hollywood budget to work with, so we'll do what we can. And you really see that. And even in the HD conversion, like you're like, wow, like their shadow work is amazing. And like I even like started to get like art school on it, and I was like, oh, Mulder's talking to Mr. X right now, and they're both in shadow because Mr. X is being very secretive, and Mulder has no idea what's going on. And then something clicks in Mulder's brain while they're talking, and he understands something, and he kind of like steps forward, and like his face starts to be revealed in the light, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so fucking artsy. I had no idea. And then Mr. X realizes it, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll give you the whole story, and he steps forward into the light too, and I'm like, they know what they're doing. It's not like Sliders where they were accidentally doing Zolly shots every 5 minutes.
Yeah, basically anything that was on like PAX or Sci-Fi.
Yeah. But so like it's so cool to watch it. Like they're not done yet. They're doing it like episode by episode, and I just happened to start watching when all of season 1 is done and most of season 2 is done. Random thing, premiere of season 2, standard def. Episodes 2 through like 15 have been high def, and I'm like, you would think if anything they'd just go in chronological order. Or at least do like the premieres and the finales first, because those are always the big ticket episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got to the Brian Thompson episode where he plays he's the alien bounty hunter. One of my favorite reoccurring characters. It's really cool.
Mine would have to be the lone gunman.
Yeah. Oh, I actually while I was watching this, I was like, I want to watch the Lone Gunman too, because they had their own their own season.
They tried to have their own series.
Yeah. And I was like, I want to watch it along, like watch one episode back, back and back. Or well, it happened during like a month-long break for the X-Files, so there's like a patch of like 5 episodes of the Lone Gunman that you watch by themselves, and then like you kind of go back and forth between the two series until both of them end. And I couldn't find the Lone Gunman anywhere like to stream, so I just was like, what, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. So I bought. It's over in my DVD collection right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, still haven't cracked it open yet because I'm waiting until I get, because it's not
waiting for its moment.
Well, the Lone Gunman show was in 2001.
Yeah,
and I remember that because like the first episode they talk about conspiracies about that are like going on like right now, and like they make a passing reference to allowing 2 planes to hit the World Trade Center to get us to go to war so that we can warmongering and shit like that. And then 6 months later that happened, and I feel like that's one of like that.
Get your tinfoil hats ready, people.
That lower on the totem pole, like higher up on the totem pole, is the low ratings and stuff like that. But like I feel like Fox was like, you know what? It's okay. Yeah. We don't need a second season.
We don't need to push boundaries.
Yeah, unintentionally.
But yeah, no, they were some of the best reoccurring characters. I agree. And it's just great to watch a show that like didn't mind like kind of like tongue in cheek making fun of itself, but not in like an overt sense.
Yeah, well, I don't understand Fox of that era. Because that show went on how many seasons, and Fox wasn't like...
Was it 9?
About 9, yeah.
You better watch it, or we're just going to cancel it.
Well, so X-Files was one of Fox's breakout hits. Like, it was X-Files and The Simpsons. Those were the 2 things...
And in Living Color.
Yeah, and in Living Color. And those were, like, the 3 things that kept Fox on the air when, like, network TV was really starting to become a thing. Because, like, we don't necessarily remember because, we kind of grew up as this was happening. But, like...
Did you guys always have cable?
I did in my house, yeah.
As far as I know,
yeah. I mean, I did. I always had.
I had a TV in my room that had a UHF antenna, but like it didn't really like. All I got was like the local channels, NBC, ABC, Fox, CBS, because UHF and VHF stuff was kind of like already on the out by the time I knew how to work a TV. But like at the time, like 1990-ish, that was when like network television and cable was really starting to become a thing, and they didn't really know what to do with themselves because now people were staying indoors watching TV instead of going outside and doing stuff. And like so there was a bigger market for more interesting shows.
Well, and local programming, like you
Yeah.
were saying, UHF stuff, local UHF band and all that was dying out.
Yeah,
And that's
and-
when we see the advent of Fox, UPN, and WB.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
and up until that point, because you didn't have cable, it was all local programming. You know, like you had things like the Ed Sullivan Show that was syndicated on the local affiliates.
Well, for the longest time, it
Yeah.
was just ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Yeah,
and then
that too. Yeah, Fox wasn't even a thing.
Late 80s, early 90s.
And yeah, like The Simpsons was, I want to say, its first original thing.
I feel it was a spinoff of the Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like that was that was the first thing that they did that wasn't just syndication from something else.
Right.
Like kind of like how Comedy Central started out. Really, the first original programming they had was Mystery Science Theater 3000. Like there was a
which I feel like had existed elsewhere before.
They have at least one season worth of shows on like a UHF channel.
I would argue it was really South Park that built Comedy Central.
Well, yeah, the South Park was what made Comedy Central like a household name.
Yeah.
I
Right,
was watching
but-
it back in Mystery Science Theater 3000 days. But
Yeah, I saw. I feel like wasn't Mystery Science Theater? It used to be on Sci-Fi, right?
No, it started out in comedy. They canceled it, and Sci-Fi Channel picked it up.
So I started watching in the Sci-Fi channel.
right,
days.
but what I meant about with Fox is that since that era
yeah.
of Fox, they've had multiple. Well, they were given multiple chances to have shows
Oh, you're just sore that they keep canceling things like
similar.
Firefly.
Well, no, similar to the status of what the X-Files
Human
would
Target.
eventually begin.
Oh yeah.
Or
what was it? Drive?
Oh man, was that the one with Peter Facinelli and Tiffany Amber Thiessen?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh man,
but just
Boner City. And I'll let you at home guess if it was Peter Facinelli or Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Peter Facinelli.
both. But just the fact that
Jake, you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah. I don't know what show you're talking about.
Actually, you know what? To be fair, it's Sam. It was probably just boners for everything.
Yeah.
but
Oh, it's all. Oh, look, it's in color. Sweet.
It's
in
black and white.
the fact that ever
HD
since
comes
then,
later.
Fox has been
It
given
always
all these
comes
great
later
shows
than Sam.
and had a chance, to keep renewing them, and it's just like, no, this is actually catching on. We're going to cancel it.
Again.
The ratings are there,
Well,
but we just don't care for it.
Well, here's the thing. Until just recently, like the onset of like Netflix and Amazon Prime have started to prove against this, but since the aughts, since around the turn of the century to the 2000s, reality has been king. Survivor, the Voice, other things. I don't know. I don't watch reality shows.
American
but,
Idol.
Yeah, I can't
shit like
stand
that.
them.
But that is what was getting people to turn on the TV.
Well, it's
And
relatively cheaper to produce.
that too. It's easy to produce, and people will watch it.
Well, if they
and-
want that, then why don't they just plug into the Learning Channel 24/7?
Because
apparently that's all it is.
Because it's not as entertaining. See, reality TV has conflict. The Learning Channel
The Learning
has
Channel
the
is
Duggars.
nothing.
Comes after the letter C.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Learning Channel is nothing but reality shows now.
and
Yeah, but it's all like family wholesome reality shows, like 19 and counting, topical. The stuff like
I was
that.
about to say.
Yeah, that's wholesome, all right.
Might want to back off the
Yeah.
calling it wholesome.
Yeah, well, it's not on the air anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
What channel had that Honey Boo Boo train wreck?
TLC. I want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wholesome,
again-
all right.
Again,
Well,
but,
yeah.
but you know what? But people fucking watched it. It did bring
and
that
Survivor
was,
isn't
that was-
exactly
Duck
wholesome
Dynasty,
either.
man.
You give them a weapon and
never-
they're going to kill everyone
never-
on that show.
You are getting focused on the wrong
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
He said that the Duggars were packaged as wholesome.
Survivor's on CBS.
That too.
I know, but I'm just saying, you give any one of those contestants a weapon and,
And
they'll
that's,
use
and that's
it.
why people watch.
I
They're
wasn't saying network TV was wholesome.
they're literally watching for the hope that they are going to kill each other. It's just like watching NASCAR and praying for a car crash.
Or Big Brother and counting down on who's going to bang. You don't actually do that?
Or Real World.
Or
Real
Joe
World.
Millionaire.
what about The Bachelor?
Bachelor.
Oh man.
Yeah, what
How
channel
about the
is
Joe
Bachelor?
Schmo show?
Bachelor's
You guys ever
ABC.
watch the Joe Schmo show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ralph Garman.
Yeah, I mean, that's all about, like,
But
people
like so
banging.
yeah, but yeah, for the past 15 years, that's been what has gotten real ratings and a better return. Like, what Sam brought up, it's cheaper to make that stuff because you don't have to pay actors.
But then what confuses me now, though, is that Sleepy Hollow has been continuing, and they're now bringing in Minority Report, the television series.
Not everything's going to be reality shows, though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
what I'm getting at is now audiences are getting back into narrative.
Like The Blacklist.
Yeah. Things like The Blacklist, Sleepy Hollow, sure, I don't understand it, but people watch it. People watch it, so, good for them. It's just like Michael Bay. Like, I don't get it, but other people do, apparently.
Somehow The Last Ship got a second season.
Oh, I know. I remember thinking that was done.
Yeah.
And I remember I was at the theater and they were season 2. And I was like, fucking season 2? It got past 3 episodes?
I remember seeing commercials for the premiere, like, several months away and being what a stupid show.
Remember, The Last Ship is Michael Bay, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is why, though. Yeah, but that's why. It's Michael Bay throwing his money in it, and they see his name, and it's like, I have to watch it.
And also, it's what's his name? What's his name? Jane from Firefly is in it.
Adam Baldwin?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the crazy one.
Who was also on X-Files.
And it's got Rona Mitra.
And he was on
from Rise of the
Nip Tuck.
Lycans. And Nip Tuck. Yeah.
But yeah, so like
and Hollow Man.
Now things like that are coming into the fray, and it's partially because of like things like Netflix and Amazon Prime, because they're actually throwing money at getting actual storyline, and then also like Breaking Bad was so cool.
Yeah, it was Netflix that basically saved Breaking Bad.
Yeah, well, so like people are now getting back into that stuff, so it's coming back. So if like
what you're saying is what killed narrative when there were really good shows that were trying to succeed and didn't was reality television.
Well, ratings.
They were fighting. They were fighting a losing battle. They were pushing a giant boulder uphill. Now
they're becoming popular again.
Yeah, exactly. That hill is less angled and getting more plateaued.
Unless you're a comedy on NBC, and in which case
no. and it all boils down to like the short-sightedness. Like if you really want
the average TV viewer.
No,
the average TV network.
Yeah, the producers, the short-sightedness of them. Like they want instant results. They want American Idol, which had a huge first episode and a huge second episode.
They want a huge third episode.
They want the 17 million people audience. They don't want.
They don't respect the slow build.
Yeah.
Like the thing that X-Files had working for it, to jump back to the original thing, was that Fox. Fox was a brand.
X-Files, what's that?
Fox was a brand new company, so they were really hoping to
playing the long game.
Yeah, they didn't have the clout to just be like, no.
But would it have been considered a gamble for them with like if you were Chris
Carter, everything
was a gamble.
It was a gamble for them to open up as a studio.
Yeah, everything was a gamble on early Fox, because they were building their audience. MASH didn't get successful numbers until their third fucking season. MASH wouldn't survive now.
Yeah. And X-Files.
Well,
X-Files
MASH for certain reasons wouldn't survive now.
What reasons? I'm opening up a can of worms.
but no, like X-Files wouldn't.
I love MASH.
X-Files.
So do I.
X-Files wouldn't have survived 5 years ago. Like if you
Cheers started out,
Seinfeld started out terribly, and it became
Dead
like
last.
the king of fucking.
The first season of Seinfeld is considered like almost unwatchable by today's standards.
Yeah,
in hindsight, it's
in hindsight, I still don't understand how any of it was watchable.
Whoa! We're gonna stone you with fucking rocks after this show. Actually, we'll do it on the air.
We're gonna stone you with fucking stones, even.
With Sam Stone.
Yeah,
just gonna throw Sam at you. Yeah. Hey Sam, get back over here. I'm gonna toss you in the Josh.
And Sam's just like, I love this.
Yeah.
This is doing as much punishment to me.
Holy cow!
Use my boner as a fuck. It would have been so funny.
It's like a compass.
I saw
the thing on the bottom of a surfboard that keeps it level.
I saw it like slowly, like you were losing it, and I was like, "Oh, come on, Chris, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you."
Use my penis as a rudder.
Honestly, it isn't until the third season of The Simpsons that I think The Simpsons gets good.
No, that's yeah. Well, the animation progressively gets better.
Well, and also they focus more on Homer than Bart.
Yeah.
And they had the unused subplot that Homer and Krusty the Clown were the same person, which is why their characters to this day look so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they use the same model.
Cheaper.
That too.
Well, yeah, but no, they were supposed to be, like Chris was saying.
That's like in He-Man.
Yeah, that was literally a thing that they were like.
The idea was that
you know what? No.
Yeah, the idea that the guy that Bart idolizes the most is actually his father secretly.
Yeah.
Who he doesn't, respect at all. That was what the big.
That would have been so good.
My dad would have loved that.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like most dads.
because the reason why I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up was because the dad is treated as a joke, and my dad was like, I don't want TV to tell you to disrespect me.
Yeah, gosh, you'll have to develop that on your own.
That was for you, Dad.
My dad listens to us.
Well, there he goes.
Mine
sticking to my guns.
See if you're ever welcomed over for dinner again, Sam.
Fuck, I haven't had dinner here to begin with.
Wait, we can have dinner here?
How can I have s'more if I haven't had any yet?
Yeah. Invite me to dinner just to disinvite me.
Yeah. You get in and he just closes the door on you.
It's like, oh, well, I'm just going to have to walk to Glory Days. God damn it.
Which is weird because you drove here.
Yeah. But it's
no, I want to feel all of this.
I want that Charlie Brown walk. I want that doo-doo-doo. Now, like... The thing is, Fox did take a chance on Arrested Development because Arrested Development never did good on the ratings, unfortunately. And
it's a shame because it was really good.
It was like the funniest show on Fox for like the 3 seasons it was on Fox.
And then like one of the worst shows on Netflix when
it came back.
That one season that Netflix had original.
Yeah, or his Family Guy got canceled after season 2.
Mm-hmm. Came back.
Canceled twice. Well, yeah.
Something like that. When you were talking, when you were mentioning like how like it's ridiculous that like they had so many like quote unquote opportunities to cancel the X-Files, but like they never did. I really wanted to bring up like Family Guy because like after Family Guy like repiloted, like it was awful in my opinion. I will say, yeah, I can't stand new Family Guy. Like I used to love. I have the first. Like,
I wouldn't go as far to say as
seasons.
I can't stand it, but there is a drop off.
There's a period where it's really really unwatchable. Yeah. But it's kind of leveled out now. It's getting a little. It's more solid.
But but I feel like
does anybody keep watching The Simpsons because that dropped off too?
Yeah.
But they still
I catch
keep
it every
going.
once in a while. Yeah. I watched the. I don't know if it was the finale this season or if just like an episode, but I watched the episode where they like had the quote unquote Rick and Morty crossover in the title sequence. The couch gag. Very funny couch gag. It was basically a mini episode of Rick and Morty versus a Simpsons couch gag that just had them.
Yeah. I feel like if it wasn't for Netflix, we wouldn't get as many seasons as 7 for Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Because that existed on the bubble.
Yeah.
Community, one of your favorites, existed on the bubble, and then it ultimately got booted.
Yeah. And then Yahoo picked them up. And I will say, I've been keeping up with it as, every once in a while we check in on my community watch.
Yeah.
They just did a paintball episode, which was
promos.
That's one of their like hallmarks is that they did a couple of these paintball episodes, which are always like homages to like great action movies. And after like the second time, Dan Harmon was like, okay, I don't want to do anymore. It's too much, and I don't know if I have another one in me to, like actually be a good episode. So they didn't do one for several seasons. And then the Yahoo series came around, and I guess they were like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, this is going to be our last time.
Yeah. And it was like a really good, like maybe it's just because I've been watching a lot of Bond recently, but I feel like it was a really good homage to Bond.
Would you say it's the best of the season so far?
Which
it's
hilarious because they have a paintball mode in the Bond games.
Yes.
Beat Dan on Secret Agent in less than 7 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah. And also like
Thank you for remembering that, Sam.
I gotta say, like, I'm actually pretty impressed with some of Yahoo's original programming. Like,
they have more than Community.
They do actually. Community was like the third or fourth show that they like really picked up, and then they've also had like online streaming, other shows. But like they have a couple original. I feel like they haven't had a lot of original shows. But like they have this other one called Other Space, which features the AT&T girl. Melina Weintraub, or as she is on the AT&T commercials. Nope, never mind. I can't remember her character's name, but it's like on those ones where the people walk into the AT&T store, and she's really cute and bubbly and helpful. She's one of the main stars in it. And then if you watched Betas, which was the show on Hulu, I think.
It's either Hulu or CW.
Yeah, one of the stars.
That was on Amazon.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it wasn't an Amazon original series.
Yeah.
One of the stars of that show is on it as well.
Okay.
And going back to Mystery Science Theater 3000, Joel Hodgson, one of the creators of Mystery Science Theater, he's on it, as well as Trace Berlew, who's Dr. Forrester and the original voice of Crow from
Crow.
Mystery Science Theater.
Wow.
He plays the voice of a robot.
One of my favorite dramas
Poor
of
guy.
all time was saved and was canceled twice and saved by Netflix, which is The Killing. That's a show that it never got its closure until it got its closure. Thank goodness, because I think it's a fantastic show.
Yeah, which makes me wonder what they're going to do with Longmire now. 'Cause
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it ended on a huge cliffhanger.
Isn't
Did
Netflix,
they pick it up?
Netflix
is
picked
picking
it up.
That's a show everyone keeps telling me to watch. I haven't checked
Also,
it out.
The Rocketeer is on Netflix.
It
Well,
has.
I
It's been
didn't.
on- yeah.
Has it been there
It's
for
been
a
on
while?
for a while, yeah.
Okay, because I didn't know until they posted that thing with the Rocketeer.
That was cute. Yeah,
Hence
If-
why I had to tag you.
fantastic.
If
Thank
you
so
enjoyed Justified, you'll enjoy
much.
Longmire.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I have to check it
I'm
out.
waiting for them to add the last season of Justified on there. That'd be nice.
Well, it ended just a month ago, or
That's
a
why
few
I'm-
weeks ago. So it's
Wait.
gonna
Is
be
Justified's
why
on Netflix?
That's why I'm waiting.
yeah.
It's why you're waiting and not going. Where the fuck is it?
Yeah,
guys?
yeah, it's not-
You're
not-
patient. You're patiently waiting.
Yeah, just sitting there.
Justified's on Netflix.
It was.
Maybe
Really?
maybe I'll be able to check it out.
Mhm.
I
I'm
know
gonna
it's
add it to my
definitely
list right
on
now.
Amazon Instant.
Yeah, they
Video.
had it
On
on
Amazon
for a
Prime.
while.
Did they really?
I don't know
I
if
mean,
they
I have,
took it off.
I have all of them except the last season, obviously. But
yeah,
um,
sitting
Oh,
there.
they don't have Reaper anymore streaming on Netflix, which
Wait.
makes me sad because that show was so good.
Mm.
Had Ray Weiss from Twin Peaks fame,
Yeah. Oh,
and it was produced by Kevin Smith.
speaking of the Peaks.
Yeah, getting an even bigger revival season.
Yeah. Oh, and Lynch. I don't know if we discussed this. Is finally back again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Does anyone know what happened with that?
Money.
Yeah, it was probably a matter of budget,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Fuck you, Showtime," and left. And the entire cast was like, "Please come back." And they probably like talked to Showtime. They're like, "Okay, fine, and we'll give you money for a bigger season than you originally."
They Joel McHale'd him
I guess
because that's what Joel McHale did to
Community.
to get
NBC.
Dan Harmon back.
The
And to clarify, Justified is not currently streaming on Netflix.
it was, but oh,
It's gotta still be on Amazon Prime.
yeah, but
But Longmire is, and it says new episodes.
yeah.
I don't know if that means anything to you guys. There's 3 seasons,
Is that the show with Katie Sackhoff?
Yes.
Oh.
and Robert Taylor and Lou Diamond Phillips
Oh yeah. No, it's
Oh,
an
shit.
amazing show. He's great on it.
added to my list.
Just
Oh,
like
hey, Netflix says it thinks that I'm going to give it 4 3/4 stars.
what does Netflix
You'll
think
give
you're
it more.
going to give the Pierce Brosnan Robinson Crusoe?
Give me a second to look it up.
I
Talk
used-
amongst yourselves.
I used
Yeah.
to follow that gospel until I looked at the Gilmore Girls and it said I would give it 2 stars. So that system's dead to me.
Well, like
It's based on what you rate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. And sometimes it's
you
some,
know though.
I would say
You
9
hear me
times out
talking
of
in my
10.
room.
9 times out of 10, I'd say it's spot on.
No, it is. It is pretty spot on.
But I can understand how it's dead to you.
It's an algorithm. It can never
yeah.
be right.
It's it can't factor in.
love.
Yeah, it can't factor in love.
You know what's hilarious? You know what's
it
hilarious?
says that I would give it just shy of 3 stars.
You know what's hilarious? I
Sam.
rewatched Her. You know the movie Her. Her. My
I
voice
still
cracks.
haven't seen that.
I
yet.
rewatched Her. I had it on Voodoo, and I was like, man, that movie's so cool. And then the movie was over, and I was like, hey Siri, on my phone, and it was like, hello, and I was like, who's your favorite band? And it was like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question. I was like, fuck you, Siri, you're nothing like her. You're like her.
We'll never replace her.
This relationship's over.
Yeah.
Bullcrap.
It is bullcrap.
Although, speaking of her, I watched
trying to
a
see.
couple episodes of Black Mirror, and they had an episode that, God, Spike Jonze must have gotten inspiration for that movie from. That had Haley Atwell from Captain America in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Basically about losing her husband and then having an AI program kind of live with her and then assume the identity of him and then slowly gain consciousness, move into a physical body, and just really, really creepy shit.
Mm. Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of artificial intelligence and things like that, did anyone watch that the really bad Catwoman movie. The
Catwoman?
actress. Yeah, well, no, but the lead actress. What's her
Halle
name?
Berry?
Halle Berry. Did anyone watch that Halle Berry sci-fi TV show? Like, it wasn't on sci-fi. It was just science fiction.
That's one that's also...
Existent? Or was it something like that?
Yeah.
Not Extent.
Yeah, that's one that I thought was going to get canceled, but it's coming back as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
My parents love that show.
Almost Human got canceled, and that sucked because I liked Almost Human.
So did Josh.
Yeah. Again, the mark of Fox being like, no, we had one sci-fi, that's it.
Yeah.
That's been the joke for like the last... Since Firefly, that's been the joke, that they'll cancel
Since
anything
Family
good.
Guy, which was right around the same time.
Which
Anyway,
makes
But
me-
they'll cancel anything good after one
Which
season.
makes you think that Minority Report, which is their property and they're bringing to TV, they're going to be like one episode and then we're canceling it.
You know what? Based on the promo for it, I was
I kind of hope that does happen.
I was unimpressed.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to go on for like 8 seasons.
Oh,
yeah. I will say Almost Human was probably really fucking expensive to make.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest problem with
What
these
killed
shows.
Star Trek, the original
Yeah.
one.
It's just too expensive.
yeah, but how long has Star Trek been a thing, though?
But it was
3
only,
seasons.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, that was... The original was 3 seasons.
Yes.
Yes.
And it wasn't a thing.
It
It
almost
didn't
got
have
canceled after the second season.
How many episodes was each season?
20-ish. 30?
This is back in the 60s when a season could go almost 30 episodes long.
Well.
So the
okay,
first
never mind then.
First season went...
No wonder why
it's just
so
shy
many
of 100
episodes.
right? Because it's around 30 per season.
It's 79 for 3 seasons, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, X-Files only has like 218 episodes. That was 9 seasons.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Same amount for
Existence
Smallville.
coming back. Although these, like,
You know
during
what
the
needs to come
summer
back?
shows.
Existence. The Cronenberg movie? Yeah.
It
No.
almost sounded like some sort of like weird sci-fi, like that depends.
But yeah,
shit.
the shows that
Depends.
fill in the
Are you
summer gaps,
terrified? Did
I'm
you shit
surprised
your
never get
pants?
canceled. No matter how bad they are.
Because they bring in ratings, period. Because no one watches anything in the summer.
Well,
They
there
go
is
on
nothing.
vacations.
Well, there's nothing on during the summer.
Well,
With the exception of Suits.
My favorite part about the summers used to be Psych.
Yeah, that's
That
right. That was
such
a summer thing.
That was such a good summer show.
Yeah, well,
I feel like the
I
last
still have
last
Suits.
season was a spring show.
Yeah,
Spring.
they moved it over to a regular, like a spring show
like
for
a
the last
mid-season replacement.
hmm And it was not as good.
Yeah.
Mostly because like I feel like they were like, all right, well, this is the last season. We're gonna half-ass it.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
half a season too.
So I guess they full-assed it
Yeah.
for the half season.
they
Yeah.
full-assed a half-ass job.
I understand what you're saying.
But you're getting him far too turned on.
Yeah.
Tough shit.
All those asses.
All those
Wait.
asses on the dance floor.
You're complaining about too many asses?
No. I'm processing asses.
He only has so much RAM,
Yeah.
and most of it is set aside, is
God,
cached.
While we're
for
talking
asses.
about RAM, let's talk.
Can we talk about ramming asses?
Well, can we talk about the DJ on Tuesday who didn't have
Oh.
enough RAM for more than one song on the?
So here's the thing. I actually talked. I have a the technical side of what happened there, but to fill in the listeners
yeah.
who have no idea what we're talking about, and Jake.
And me.
So we do karaoke, as I believe has been established on the show. And on Friday, the show was kind of a shit show, and you would start singing your song, and you'd get like maybe
on Tuesday.
yeah. Oh, was it a Tuesday? Yeah, I was going up on Tuesday.
Well, Friday there were issues.
Yeah,
still.
but that's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
But
All together.
I had to beat them to death with my own shoes. So they so at the show on Tuesday, you would get about a minute into your song and then it would stop, and you would just be sitting there in dead silence, and then anywhere between
And that
2
douchebag
seconds.
didn't let me finish my song. He didn't bring me back on when he got the system working on again, and he let the entire rotation go. And I was like, "Fuck you!" It cut out in the middle of my song.
Yeah. But yeah, so you would either have that issue where the song would just cut out and he'd be like, okay, I'm going to try just restarting everything, or you would sit there from anywhere between 2 seconds and 2 minutes waiting for the song to kick back in right where it left off. And that happened to me multiple times in a song, and it happened almost every single song that people were performing that night. Found out what it is. So we it sounds like a RAM issue, because he was searching for songs at the same time that he was playing songs. What it actually turned out to be, because the owner of the company was there on Friday to make sure the show went well, and I was talking to him. Apparently, their systems that they use, the way that the hard drive is rested in the CPU, it's not like just a hard mount like it is on most hard drives. So it can come loose sometimes. And apparently, that system that he was using, which, side note, the owner of the company is like, everyone knows that this system is the weakest. You never take it if you have the option to take another system. So that guy's just an idiot.
Oh,
surprise!
He is.
Surprise! He's an idiot. But
That raises other questions.
yeah. But so so the drive is loose sometimes, and you have to kind of jab it in to get it rested in there and locked in place. And if you don't, it'll intermittently cut out and get unplugged from the motherboard or whatever you want to call it. And he was like that. The way that people were describing the problems on Tuesday, that's exactly what was happening. If he had called me, I could have told him and taken 5 minutes to figure out how to fix it. But no.
Well, then, to the average individual, being played by me,
this week being portrayed by Joshua Butler,
makes me wonder.
Check your programs.
Makes me wonder.
The matinee performance shall be played by Joshua Butler. Performance.
Why the fuck you knowingly have a piece of shit hardware system like that's available to be used, and you know that issue exists, and you just don't do jack shit about it.
Sidebar: they have 10 rigs that they switch out, and
that
that
work.
one, yeah,
I just think of 10 Martin rigs, just rigs.
Rigs.
Is this one of the 10, or is this 9, or 9 good ones in this one, or is it 10 and then this the 11th?
I
shit
threw
one?
a number out there. I don't know the exact
okay.
number is 10, but they have multiple rigs.
Right.
Surprise, surprise. Computers can be expensive, so you're not. If you have one that functions.
They can be expensive if you don't know what you're doing, I guess.
If you have one that functions, albeit maybe not perfectly, but still it turns on and it runs the show, and if you know how to troubleshoot it correctly, like the owner does, and the owner said that if he had called him, he would have been able to walk him through a 5-minute fix of it, then it's not worth throwing it in the trash just so you can have 10 perfect machines versus 7 fine machines.
I guess you ask a lot of your employees, and if you expect them
No.
just-
If you changed out your computer anytime there was a slight hardware fuck up, you would be bankrupt.
I don't mean change out, but address the issue. This sounds like an issue that could easily be addressed, not for a whole lot.
5-minute fix isn't a whole lot.
Yeah. That's way better than getting a whole new computer.
Yeah.
or buying a 500 it probably what it would come down to is you would have to buy a new hard drive resting place, whatever the fuck it's called, or
A new tray.
yeah, or go like this, just push it in harder.
But I'm guessing the poor gentleman didn't realize what he was.
No,
taking
and in that
his
case,
time.
and in that case, you call your boss. You fucking call your boss. There's no shame in admitting you don't know how to fix a problem.
True.
And calling your boss to see what he says. Sure, maybe you don't know that he knows how to fix it, but you call your boss and go, "Hey, boss, I'm having this problem. What do you advise?"
Yeah.
Should I go? Should I wait for someone to bring another rig to the show? Should I, kill myself?
I can imagine. Yeah, but I can imagine.
Just set up the stage.
Always an option.
Yeah.
Set up the stage seppuku style.
Yeah.
But I can imagine the gentleman in question. He panicked, deer in headlights, and just
Well,
chose the wrong option.
Chris knows my
Unfortunately.
feelings on the gentleman, which is a term in this scenario I use very lightly. Because I don't.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Every single syllable of that word is used lightly.
Yeah.
Even the toll.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I easily could have made that same. Yeah, I have made that same kind of mistake. Not that exact,
Yeah,
but
like,
in situations exactly like that, I have made even far worse mistakes.
My thing is, I'm fine with him like trying to work it out for like a half hour or like even an hour, being like, okay, I think I got it. I think I figured out what's wrong. But once hour 2 hit and he's still like having the same problem, that's when you
All
gotta
night.
throw in the towel.
all night.
Yeah.
Man.
All night long.
Great
All
song.
night. All night. It fucking sucked. It fucking sucked so hard.
Not the song, the night.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I like that song. But the I was just like, fuck this. I'm going to bed early or going to home early. I'm gonna go like watch like Pierce Brosnan, Robinson Crusoe, and like masturbate or something.
I just gotta say, if I were to ever be in a situation where
I just love how you
something
just
like that
rolled.
were to happen with me,
He blocked it out. He
Yeah, he's just like, I'm used
no,
to this.
I saved that file for later. I'm gonna need something
part?
later
Which-
tonight.
Which part? The Pierce Brosnan or Sam jerking off?
to it.
Dude, why'd I gotta pick? Why'd I gotta pick? I saved it all.
I've got a very specific fetish. I can only climax when I'm visualizing Sam watching Robinson Crusoe with Pierce Brosnan and jerking off.
No, please continue giving my trade secrets away. But I can,
If
I
anyone
were
would
to
like
be,
to draw that, fan,
Just 2 stick figures, one of them heavily bearded.
if anyone draws that, unless one of these guys objects to it, I will make that the icon of the following episode when I receive it.
I just gotta say, I would feel pretty shitty if I were in
Easier to
that.
draw than the Powerpuff Girls.
If I were in that KJ situation, that I happened to rent out equipment that was that busted up.
maybe who knows? Maybe this guy was already on thin ice because he's a fucking moron. So he didn't want to call his boss because he would have been let go because he's a fucking moron. Did I not get that point across?
I'm really glad we haven't said names yet.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
None of us have bothered learning his name.
Oh, why would I learn his name? He's beneath.
I do know the company that he works for. And I'm good friends with the owner of the company. I'm not saying anything
Well,
against
good.
the
I'm
company.
taking his name
like-
to the
I
grave.
like- I like the company.
I love his company.
Yeah. I
I'm-
love
I'm-
his company.
Yeah.
The company of his company.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
glad
love
I
the
didn't go
company
then.
of his company.
Yeah. Well, you haven't been since Dave's Dirty 30?
Yeah.
No, you were at my.
Oh,
or
yeah.
was- yeah,
I was like,
he was at my party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was So it was about a month ago, actually. Come to think of it.
But needless to say,
Not bad, not bad.
the bar we frequent is in dire need of good working equipment.
I mean, well, no. On Friday the show was fine because
Yeah.
As opposed to the last Friday.
the owner of the company came with I arguably probably the best rig because he was like, no, we need to show the bar that we're not.
Please don't let us go.
Because, well, one of the managers said to the KJ's face if you guys have another show like this, we are going to find another company. And so
Yeah, again,
so naturally the owner wanting to keep the business was like, I'm going to come. I'm going to set everything up. I'm going to bring the best rig.
see, you would have made it even better if we brought the same exact rig but had fixed the issue.
You're acting like operator error doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you fix the issue where operator error for that specific issue is impossible.
Well, I mean,
Operator error is always possible.
Yeah, even with a perfect rig.
No, I
operator
understand that,
errors.
Murphy. You and your blasted law.
Yeah. It was a favorite of my grandfather. He'd always be like, Murphy's Law, Sam. It always goes wrong. I'm like, I know, Gramps. I know.
But
Then
if Interstellar taught us anything,
It's not that whatever wrong can go wrong. It's whatever can happen will happen.
Yes.
that's why it's okay to name your child Murphy.
If it's a chick.
Didn't work well.
It didn't work well with RoboCop.
Yeah.
Murphy! Well, that was his last name, right?
Yeah, it was his
Alex
surname.
Murphy.
Yeah.
As
It's
far as I know, it was his only name.
Yeah.
It was just Murphy,
Robert.
Murphy.
Robert Cop. one of my favorite bootleg toys of all time is just Robert Cop. It's literally just a RoboCop, but like the packaging
like
says Robert instead of Robo.
I would just imagine some cop with just a name tag that says Robert.
Yeah.
There was a cracked article that was like, like 10 or X number of best like
bootlegs,
and it was like,
is that the one that had Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? What was the one with San Andreas Kirk Douglas?
No, I don't think so. but it said Robert Kopp, the man who may or not be a robot or something like that.
Have you ever seen the RoboCop fried chicken commercials?
Oh yes.
No.
Oh.
They're Korean.
Super shiny armor. It's like chrome.
Yeah.
armor.
He comes. Apparently, he still eats fried chicken
Who
prepared
doesn't?
in Korean homes.
Which is funny because he is on a strict diet of baby food.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gerber.
Good stuff.
Tastes like baby food.
Yeah. Breakfast of champions. Yeah.
Stags.
So, I don't honestly think the tangent about that DJ sucking would go that long. I just want to say how much that DJ sucked.
Yeah, sorry. I had information.
Yeah, he still sucks.
True.
Regardless of the. In fact, you have merely cemented in my mind how much he sucks.
I've given more credence to him being a terrible person by.
Well, I don't know how he is personally.
Well, yeah,
he just sucks. at his
a
job.
terrible KJ with his refusal to ask for help.
Now, did the manager talk to the dude on Tuesday or Friday? Where he was like, "This is audition night. This is your back to audition night."
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I won't press.
I don't think it was kind of like a okay, gotta fix this.
This is it.
Yep.
This is it. Speaking of like KJs and managers, and this has nothing to do with KJs and managers.
Good segue.
I saw the re-release of Blues Brothers at Fairfax Corner this week.
How'd that go?
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, so it was really good. It is the first time they showed the theatrical version. I hadn't seen that in years. I had just gotten accustomed to seeing the director's cut, and so I was like, oh shit, there's supposed to be like a good 5 minutes of something here that isn't here anymore. Like there's multiple shit taken out. I don't know if you guys are more familiar with either.
One of the better
I'm not
SNL
sure which
skits
ones I'm
turned
aware
to
of.
films.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's one of the first too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite will always be Wayne's World.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, Wayne's World 2.
Well, I was just saying the Wayne's World franchise.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm waiting for the Land
it was
Shark movie.
It was no Blues Brothers 2000 though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have that. I own it on Vudu. But the things that are there's a few lines of incidental dialogue that aren't in the theatrical cut, but there's like 3 fairly big sequences that aren't in it. Like you see Elwood at work, and that's where he gets the super glue that he uses on the rednecks at the end of the movie.
Huh.
You see the prison guards wake up Jake when they're getting him out of when they're getting him out of prison, whereas in the movie they're just automatically like the theatrical version opens with them walking him through the prison already.
Right.
And what's his name? Cab Calloway's character tells the band that the proceeds of the concert are going to charity, and they're all like, "What? That's not in the theatrical version." But yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. It's probably my favorite movie directed by John Landis. I know you're an American
house.
Yeah.
Done.
I'm a American Werewolf kind of girl.
Any Coming to America? Anything?
Twilight Zone segment.
Yeah.
I
Where he
probably
killed the
would
kid.
have enjoyed Blues Brothers
Two.
most out of any of those.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's my favorite movie.
Kentucky Fried
Movie. Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite musical. I think my favorite movie musical.
It's one of my favorite appearances of Ray Charles in a movie.
It's an elite club.
Yeah.
To be fair, I can't think of any other movie.
It's
that
an
he's
elite-
in.
He
Think of
was
its own.
driving a bus in a comedy, wasn't he?
Was it Coming to America? I don't know.
I feel like you're right. Like there's a scene where they just have
It was
like,
one of the Leslie
like-
Nielsen.
it's like a blind guy
ones.
like driving a bus and
Like
it's
Stevie
Ray
Wonder?
Charles or
Oh yeah, I know. You're right. It may have been
yeah.
Stevie Wonder.
But
Twisted.
Remember when
One of
Daft
the
Punk
two.
played with Stevie Wonder at the Grammys?
yeah.
And Stevie Wonder totally didn't know the lyrics to Get Lucky, and he just made them up, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, and he just does like that Stevie Young, or Stevie Wonder thing. is awesome.
Yeah.
That was a great performance.
You were mentioning that they were doing some big ticket stuff next month for their re-releases. Like they were doing the first Terminator.
Yeah,
and they're doing
Goldfinger and shit.
What are we
What's
talking
this?
about?
They're putting. They have Goldfinger in the first Terminator, and there was another movie they're going to be doing at Fairfax Corner.
Ah.
I mean, I kind of just wiped it out of my head because I can't go to any of those because like I'm always working.
Yeah.
So I might as well not even be there.
But yeah, so like the
I guess
re-release series that me and Chris saw,
Goldfinger.
Big Trouble in about 2 weeks ago now. Yeah, they're doing every month it's new stuff. So yeah, they announced. I remember Goldfinger, and I remember the first Terminator.
and there's another really big one. I can't remember.
Nice.
Speaking of Bond,
They should do Braveheart, man.
I just got, I just ordered GoldenEye on Laserdisc.
Nice.
My favorite Bond.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Finally, a third Bond actor in my Laserdisc collection. It's not just Sean Connery and Roger Moore now.
Yeah, you got to get Timothy Dalton and George
Yeah,
Lazenby.
seriously.
Yeah, Tito.
Get that license to kill.
License to Kill, man.
Yeah. You know I'm going straight for your heart.
Yeah.
You know the karaoke bar in Midtown that we used to frequent on Saturday nights?
Yes.
They've got Gladys Knight's License to Kill. Maybe if it's like a slow night the next time I'm there.
Yeah, for New York Comic Con or
Yeah.
something.
Well, I won't be able to make this year's New York
No.
Comic Con because it's the same, and you're buying my ticket, or
Yeah.
kind of.
I know, but I wanted to make it sound
Yeah,
good for the
tragic.
audience.
Yeah, because it's the same weekend as my high school tenure, and I actually enjoyed high school, so I'm actually gonna go.
Unlike last year, which was my high school tenure, and I was like, I'm going to go to Comic Con.
Which high school?
Centerville.
Oh.
I wouldn't have been invited to West Springfield because I didn't graduate from West Springfield.
As far as I know, they haven't had one since I graduated.
Interesting. So all 10 years since you've graduated, there hasn't been any reunions?
No speak of one at all.
Huh. Interesting.
You didn't go to yours either.
No.
I
I
mean,
mean, I
it's-
still live in the area. I mean, I didn't see any point. in
As
going.
far as I know, either my graduating class just went up in smoke,
I mean, I like
the high school did.
I had fun in high school, and I had lots of good friends and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like before like any social media, like it's like, oh man, catching up. Where you been? We're just gonna be like, hey, I can talk to you whenever I want and see your life whenever I want. You know.
And most of my friends were the next grade down, so I was like, I'm not gonna see any of like my high school friends, because I had a handful of friends that were in my grade, but yeah, like Jake said, I keep in touch with them.
I had none, and truthfully would not really enjoy seeing any of the people I went to high school with.
Damn.
And then if you were listening, tough shit.
Ooh.
We just lost 3 listeners.
Yeah, Sean's fired.
Not
we
3. That'd be our entire listenership. Chris.
We lost 3, but we gained 7. Yeah.
People love vindictive high school.
People shit on the.
I'm sorry, I have no love lost for my high school.
Loveless?
Dr.
Dr. Arliss Loveless?
That's the song.
Is that the fucking? I don't even know this guy, but fuck him.
Yeah,
That's the song
fuck
he
him.
kinda- yeah.
And then he was like, "Give me 5 minutes, I'll get you back up." 5 minutes. It took him longer than 5 minutes to get it fucking back up because he didn't call his fucking boss because he's a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Moron!
We got a moron here.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. And then he didn't call me back. And then he let an entire rotation go by, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you. And if he's there Tuesday, I'm gonna be like, you know what?
Well, remember I came home on
I'm
Friday.
the only one here supporting that poor guy, aren't I?
Yeah.
I was indifferent until I found out that he cut off the Ellen John sign. I was like, fuck him. I remember I came home from work
If it
on
was Blink
Friday.
182, you'd be like, well,
Yeah, I'm like,
awesome.
yeah, way to go. Although it's funny enough, at work today they played that song, "The Adventure" or whatever, by the Angels and Airwaves.
Yeah.
That song fucking rules. I mean, like,
Pretty good one.
I just don't like any of the other stuff.
Yeah. Not even
Particularly
Golden Showers in the Golden
that
State.
song. I mean, that song's weird because like the fucking music is awesome. The lyrics suck. But I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like he was going for like fucking.
He talks about having sex with your cousin.
Yeah,
I
Not
mean,
my-
That's
yeah.
Grammy award winning right there.
but like, I don't know.
You were Friday.
Oh yeah. I came home from work Friday. Thank you. I was like lost in my own thoughts. I was like, how fucking cool is Fury Road? And Yeah, and I wasn't expecting Sam to be there because he's usually out doing karaoke. And I came home and you were just sitting there like you were just like
angry.
Yeah, and I was like, "What's going on?" You're like, "The guy fucking sucks."
Stroking my cat like Blofeld.
Yeah. And you were like, "You want to play Lego Star Wars?" And I was like, "Let me put my pajamas on, and I'll meet you down in a second."
Perhaps he's wondering why you would shoot him out
and
then throw him out to play.
Yeah, maybe you should have called his boss. But Bane would have called his boss.
Yeah.
Sir,
Well, he gets Wi-Fi on that mask.
Work.
Yeah, he'd have been like, "Siri, call my boss, please."
Time to go mobile.
Yeah, time to go mobile. Remember when the little kid singing the national anthem? And he's like, "What a lovely singing voice." There's just that quiet moment where Bane's sitting there before he's about to fuck up Gotham, and he's just like, just thinking out loud, "What a lovely singing voice," and then he's just destruction.
Yeah, I didn't watch any movies for John to shit on this week.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was funny.
He introduced me to this game, and if you are at home, you can search for it, provided you have a PC or laptop with a mouse attachment.
Yeah, Corey, don't search for this while you're listening to us while you're driving.
Or using the public transportation in Berkeley.
I mean, I guess you could probably search for it while she's using public transportation.
Yeah. But it's called AGARIO. You are a dot, and you get bigger by consuming smaller dots, but you have to be careful not to be consumed by bigger dots.
Oh, so it's kind of like a mix between Snake and oh god damn it, that game where you're rolling the thing and things stick to you. Katamari Damacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I've introduced Jake to.
Such a cute game.
Yeah. Deceptive and bizarre, but deceptively fun. But it's for free. You can play it. I will say,
I remember I got drunk playing that game because we were filming that little short we were gonna do.
Oh yeah.
We had to keep drinking that was it vodka or whatever?
No, it was
Tastes like anus.
yeah,
Whatever that line was.
Of course.
There was a line about it like tasting like anus, and I had to.
And you guys are method actors, so you had to keep drinking.
Well, I kept.
It was
like,
Sambuca.
Yeah, Sambuca, and I kept taking not like
This
a
was
full
like
shot,
3
but
years
like
ago,
just like a drink, and I realized I drank a good chunk of it, and I was getting pretty tipsy, and we're playing this game, and we had to just
the line that I had written was, you guys were shitting on the Sambuca because very true to life. Because I tend to write true to life, even with all the anus play.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's true.
I mean, that's the most true to life part.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But you guys were shitting on the Sambuca, and I was like, it's an anise flavored liqueur because that's something I would fucking say.
Yeah.
And then you guys were like, more like anus flavored.
yeah.
That's how I had written that line.
Yeah, I remember I was like, you don't even know me, but like this is perfect because like we hadn't even known each other a year.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you got pretty fucking hammered or tipsy on that Sambuca.
Yeah, I think it was the last day we ever filmed any of that either.
Yeah, God, I still have the script.
Yeah, that's
Still have
good.
the script.
That's
We
good.
could film it now.
Love letter.
We could
DC.
redo it in HD.
It was an entire love letter to DC because at that time I thought I was wrapping up grad school and I thought not with a consulting company that I ended up getting let go from, but with a different consulting company. And Chris might remember this because when I was wrapping up grad school, I thought I was going to move to New York City, and I wanted to basically kind of tip a hat to my hometown, to DC, and I had written this entire little short film where it was basically in my own right going around DC as kind of like a love letter to it all. And for some reason it started out with everybody drinking Sambuca and calling it anus flavor.
I'm trying to remember how it went now, like how
we teleport.
I love it already.
Yeah, you guys are okay. This is the script.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I was drunk.
We're filling airtime. Shit, we talked about how shitty a DJ was for like 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
if you guys are still,
if
you're still with us, thank you.
Yeah.
Troopers.
Yeah.
You all get a high five if I ever.
Yeah.
meet you in
I
person.
will give you guys like a smiley face and a star and a stamp, like everything.
He'll draw a Powerpuff Girl for you.
He'll tell you what your anus tastes like.
Sambuca.
It's a gift that he has.
Yeah. It's like a horoscope sign. The what astrological year
Astrological?
are you? Yeah. What astrological year are you, Josh?
Oh, what are we talking about?
Like Gemini.
No, that's not years. That's
or sign. Sorry.
Pisces.
This isn't Chinese astrology.
Fishy.
I thought I was a Pisces.
Mine's Aries.
Ooh. Spicy.
Yeah. What about you, Jake?
Leo.
I'm a Leo too. We have a kind of a gamey flavor.
Oh, okay.
But the
Gamey.
but the we are losing our minds.
That's like a second. That was good.
Yeah.
It was so stupid.
God, if
I
you are still
apologize.
listening with us,
Yeah,
thank
right.
you.
Uh,
I have to listen to this shit.
yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
You force. it's a thing you force upon yourself, Sam.
I do. I want to write accurate copy. So,
How dare you
Yeah.
want to give people a realistic expectation of what they're about to listen to?
yeah, and the thing is, it's only like a paragraph. But
When you could just write this episode sucks for the copy.
This episode was a shit show.
yeah, literally. So it starts out, and you and TJ were playing Beautiful Katamari,
Mm-hmm.
and you get into a debate about what has the best burger
Oh yeah.
in DC. No, and the best pizza in DC,
Mm-hmm.
which is Pete's New Haven over in Clarendon, in the DC area, and you decide to call me, and I'm playing Jenga.
Call me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're playing Jenga.
I'm
yeah.
playing Jenga by myself,
Mhm.
and like the call happens, and the startle makes the Jenga tower collapse.
I remember we had to like film that like
it was tough
over and over,
trying to
and
get
over
that
again.
Jenga tower.
We had to
to
keep putting
fall
it back
in.
together
Yes.
and having it fall.
God damn it! And then so I teleport over
Mm-hmm.
with a bottle of Sambuca. You guys get drunk off of it and call it anus flavored.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're like, so we just want to know what the best pizza is, and in my true fashion, I can't just tell you
That's right.
what the best pizza is, and I whisk you onto a whirlwind tour of DC, which includes several monuments, museums, which are intercut with like Family Guy or Drunk History-esque vignettes.
Yeah.
Like when we'll see like an exhibit about like dinosaurs. There's an entire sequence where you and TJ have
That's
this
right.
shitty styrofoam dinosaur mask,
Yeah.
which I still have.
Yeah. I remember going out and buying those, and it was just like the shittiest
Yeah,
looking thing.
and it was all the ways that the dinosaurs became extinct.
yeah.
And remember,
that's
you guys
right.
had like T-Rex hands.
Yeah. Okay. I remember this now. Yeah. That was funny.
Yeah, and then it ends with it on a semi like where I'm overlooking the city from the other from like the Marine Memorial
Mm-hmm.
or the Iwo Jima Memorial, because that's a beautiful shot of the city. If you've ever been to that park, right on the other side of the river is fucking DC, and I'm kind of looking at it and I'm like, yeah. I kind of wax, like get serious for about 10 seconds, and then we go back and eat pizza and play and finish playing.
Well, I remember it ends with us going, yeah, all we wanted to know, Sam, was what the best pizza place was. Like you give us this type of thing where like we just asked you one question and you whisk us on this journey.
Yeah, and then we teleport and get pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, we were like going strong for that for a while,
I still have
like filming,
Yeah.
like filming wise.
Well, we filmed it for about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My only question:
We
did
filmed
they-
basically all the stuff at the house, like at
Anything
TJ's.
that was not location.
That's
shoot.
location. Yeah, at TJ's house. Yeah.
Did they allow filming in the museums and
Well, that
things
was
like
the
that?
question we had.
I
We'd
didn't-
have to be guerrilla style
Yeah,
if we did.
yeah.
Okay, so that's a no. They don't.
So you're allowed to take like pictures and like video of like the exhibits and stuff like that, and so therefore, as long as you're not coming in with a big crew, you could totally do a guerrilla style shoot.
So they do allow it, or they
It's-
like
They
sir, you're gonna
probably
have to
frown
stop.
upon it.
What they don't know can't hurt them.
Yeah, don't bring it to their attention. Like, hey, we're filming a short film in your museum.
Don't
okay.
don't have like people with like film crew shirts.
Yeah.
Like don't
With, like,
have a
scripts
sound
everywhere
guy.
and basically
have-
know your
don't
shit.
have
Go in and
catering.
get out.
But I mean, if
Marks.
you're just walking around with like a handy cam, would they be like,
yeah, like my
stop
like,
that?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Like my
DSLR?
yeah, my film camera is a DSLR. We could probably get away with shooting this.
We
I
would
kind
just
of
look
want to
like
do that.
stock tourists.
Okay,
Hey,
so yeah,
so
no, they
what
don't
do you guys
mind
do in the
to a
summer?
degree. Okay.
I'm here.
I'm here. I'm here.
yeah.
I live in your basement, Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're literally here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I live in your bass drum.
I live in your guitar case.
Nice. The flimsy one or the solid one?
Oh, the solid one. I want to. That gives me a good, solid.
That is the acoustic. It has like the plush, not plush, but like the
shag.
the shag,
Yeah.
kind of shag interior, yeah.
But I'll share you the script this week.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's fun.
It's a pretty fun one. We'll have to swap out some of the characters. I feel like.
Sure. Well,
We
just
should-
have
well-
Josh instead of TJ.
Yeah.
We should,
As long as
we
I don't
should-
have to drive in DC.
Yeah.
No.
We should film more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
It has.
Been a long time. Been a long time. been a long, lonely, lonely.
Yeah.
Lonely,
Yeah, I mean, it would be
time.
nice to actually finally be a part of something that gets filmed.
You could be our anti-monitor for the Christ on Infinite Earths.
God, I really want to do that stuff too.
Because I have that all written out too.
And we've always been talking about doing like the comic theater audio, like doing a reading of a comic book.
Oh, the anti-monitor thing. Sam,
was I going to be a part of that?
Yeah, well, we
just never filmed it.
Yeah, when Sam and I had like decided that we really want to do that, like basically doing retellings of comic books, a la Max Landis's Sleep
Drunk
and
comic
Return
history.
Like
we
when we started coming up with that idea, we thought that it would be hilarious if you were the anti-monitor.
Yeah. And I was like, yes.
You would
I
eat
could
eat cupcakes with earth frosting.
I think like the cake balls.
Yes.
That I think that'd be even better. And I know someone that makes cake balls.
Can they make them look like the earth?
I can confirm, but I'm pretty sure yes.
Okay, cool.
Dude, cake balls? Sign me up.
Yeah, well, you'd be eating a shitload as the anti-monitor.
To be fair, Josh can pack a few balls in.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like an average
I've seen his website.
breath kiss dinner lunch combination.
Cakes all day.
Yeah.
Let him eat cake. Well, I think that about does it. So, look at the time.
If anything sums up this episode, I think it's let them eat cake.
Yeah.
And balls.
Well, that goes without saying.
That's basically our tagline.
Yeah, that's for that's our motto.
That's what the
prepared.
that's what the Star Wars text in the ring says on our logo.
Yeah.
It's not. Don't send me angry letters saying that it's not. I know it says geek out.
Yeah, he wrote it. He knows. But so it's been another installment of Catching Up. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
I'm Josh.
And thank you for listening to this shit show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good night, Eric Bana.